Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the This Might Mean Something. This might mean something. This might mean something. Who knows? Podcast. And today we're talking about what? TwitchCon?
Yeah, we're talking about TwitchCon from last year, so 2024, the one that we went to, which was over in California. We spoke a little bit. We touched on the fact that we went to TwitchCon in, was it the last episode? The travel episode?
Last episode, we talked about traveling to TwitchCon, some of the adventures surrounding the TwitchCon trip. And we said we would save TwitchCon itself for a separate episode.
Yeah, because this is a whole, like, TwitchCon, first off, this was our first TwitchCon together, or at all, for either of us. So it was a whole experience, an amazing experience, and a learning experience, honestly.
It was our first major convention together. I will say that.
We went to GalaxyCon. That was a pretty big convention together.
We went for one day on that one. We went for a slower day too.
Yeah, that's true. I think we went on like a Thursday or something. But regardless, this was our first 3-day full stint convention together. And this was my first non-anime based convention, because I've gone to like Comic-Con and stuff like that when I lived down in the Florida area. So I have experience at conventions, and going for 3 days in a row. I haven't had the experience of going to a convention that was more based on a hobby or a career choice, or it's something that you go somewhere where you go for like learning more about what you're there for. You know, like this was all about learning about TwitchCon. There was some fun stuff too, obviously. All of it was fun, but like there was like panels so you could grow on this space. And I've never been to a place like that.
Right. So TwitchCon is a sort of organization by Twitch itself in order to bring their communities together. So bring together the creators and the viewers and all these different communities, bring them together into one place or two places, as they have a European side as well.
Mm-hmm. Which I would love to go to one year.
Yes. Especially if it's in like Rotterdam or something.
Right.
So they bring together all these communities to, spend time together, see each other who you've, sort of seen mostly their usernames of, and sort of celebrate this wonderful, wonderful platform of Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And also take the time to have some of the better performing creators and some of the sort of more the higher up creators in terms of like how many views they get and how much community outreach they have and things like that, and allow them to share some insights for either the community or the creators or moderation, right? It has a bunch of different topics and a whole lot of different things surrounding the Twitch platform, as well as other stuff like an artist alley and MCC and a lot of different Twitch rivals sort of competitions,
right,
and vendors and all like a typical expo would have. But
yeah.
The main reason we went was to grow as channels and as creators,
yes,
on the Twitch platform, so that we can sort of take what we learn and apply it to our channels and apply it to other things.
So at the time of going, Mike and I were both affiliates on Twitch. He had only been affiliated for a couple months by that point. He had just gotten it that year, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
And like beginning of last year or something like that.
Yeah, so the beginning stages of 2024 We went in September of 24, which was when the American TwitchCon was. And I had been affiliated. I've been affiliated for a few years now. So I had a little bit of time in between my affiliation and going to TwitchCon. But at the time, we were both affiliated. We both still are. And one thing that we were really going for, it wasn't like we didn't expect to meet anybody that knew us or anything like that. We aren't that big, but we were going for a lot of the panels, because the panels have to do with how to grow your channels, give you creative ideas, talk about things that are up and coming on the platform. And like all other conventions, anime, video game, whatever kind of conventions you go to, there's meet and greets for your favorite creators or favorite, voice actors or whatever there is. So there was a lot of meet and greets, and there was also some more fun panels. Like you sit down and I think you went to, God, what's that guy's name? Pirate Software? Is that his name?
Pirate Software. I went to one or two, I think one primarily, that was all about extensions within the Twitch platform and how to use extensions and programming and all of these different tools available to creators or even moderators and things like that, to really bring life to your streams and bring interaction to them as well, with these wonderful tools of extensions that you can just add into your stream and have things pop up on screen, on their screen a certain way, and stuff like that. So
things that go over my head that I'm glad you went to so you can understand it, so you can help me understand it. But
a little bit.
I would like to start at the beginning of our TwitchCon experience, which was the Friday, which I think it was like the September 20th, September 20th, Friday morning. So the Thursday, we went to go get our badges and everything like that. We got our little hello, welcome to TwitchCon things. That was Thursday, right? That's when we returned the car and all that?
Yep, that was Thursday, and then Friday was the beginning.
Okay, so we got our badges and everything the night before, so Thursday evening. And on Friday at it was 9 or 10 o'clock, they opened the doors for everybody. I think there was a day where if you were an affiliate or partner, you got in an hour early or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly.
Partners had access early.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I feel like there was a day that you and I went in earlier than people who didn't stream on Twitch. Maybe I'm just remembering different.
No,
but we got different swag, which was kind of cool. But
yeah,
as you can expect for day one, there was a line that snaked its way through this entire conference room, that you then, you followed the snake path into a even bigger conference room, and everyone was sitting down for the opening ceremony.
Day one, didn't we start outside and have to stand outside for a minute?
I know on Saturday we did.
I think Saturday we got there early enough before they filled the inside.
Yeah. Well, no, we still had to stand outside on Saturday because we were there long before the doors even opened. But I think you're right. I think we did sit outside for a little while. Maybe
something like that.
Was that, I think the first day was when I met those 3 creators that were just kind of nice to your face, and I saw them be you could visually see them being kind of rude to us afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was day one. Whatever. But we snaked our way through the thing, and we got into the opening ceremony. And the opening ceremony was really, really fun, really exciting. They announced, this was funny to me. They announced the dates for this year's TwitchCon, so 2025. The first 10 minutes of TwitchCon 2024. Yep. I have the video with the dates and everything, because I was like, man, it's going to be the 10-year anniversary for 2025. I want to go to that. It's right next to my birthday. It would be on the week of my birthday. I want to go. But
sorry.
No. Life happens. We got a puppy. We can't go.
We got a puppy. We had a lot of other stuff happen.
That's not the point. But I thought it was kind of funny that within 10 minutes of opening their doors, they're like, TwitchCon 2025, woo! And they're like hyping it up because it is the 10-year anniversary. So they're like, this is going to be the biggest and best TwitchCon pretty much that they've ever had. And
if I remember correctly, their biggest thing was the fact that they got San Diego on contract for what, like another 5 years? 5 years.
Yep. So from said, 24 to 29, they're here for 5 years.
Yeah, they said, don't worry, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
And we can work more closely with the venue, if with a long-term contract than with a 1 year at a time contract.
Yeah, because before they were jumping back and forth, they were like in Vegas, and then they were I think they actually were in San Diego 1 year, and I think 1 year they were in Seattle or something. I don't know. They had jumped around a lot. I think it was all primarily on the West Coast, but they did jump around quite a bit.
Yep.
I don't think there was 2 years where they were in the same place back to back.
I don't think so.
I also haven't paid attention.
They've done San Diego before.
Yeah, they repeated venues, but they never did two. Like, they didn't go Las Vegas. They went like Las Vegas, San Diego, Las Vegas, or something like that. I might be wrong. I didn't even know TwitchCon was a thing until like 2 or 3 years ago, I would say. Once I got affiliated, that's when I started getting TwitchCon emails.
Right.
So, but they had a big open ceremony. It was a lot of loud music, and like they were really hyping it up. And the CEO of Twitch came out, I think. Was that time? Yeah.
Dan Clancy.
Yeah, so he came out and he gave a little speech. That was really nice. Twitch donated like a giant chunk of change, like $10,000 or something, to an animal sanctuary that goes live on Twitch with cameras and everything like that. They donated like a huge chunk of change to them to expand their sanctuary for animals, and it was honestly a really touching moment. Like, that was one of those moments that I was like, this platform cares about a lot of people that are on it, and they're only showing that support by going this extra mile.
Right.
I think once the whole party of like the introductions were done, it was kind of just break off and go do your own thing, wasn't it? Like, they had all the stuff out front and everything too.
So from the beginning of the Twitch of the con, whenever you entered the doors, it was pretty much, you can go do whatever you want. There's a whole bunch of different panels happening. There's this, there's that, there's the other. We decided to go to the main opening event, although there was other stuff happening all at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think we got out of there. We went to a panel about multi-streaming.
I think it was multi-streaming and like guilds on Twitch, if I remember correctly.
It was multi-streaming. The guilds was during the opening ceremony.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They talked about that a little bit.
Never did hear a reply from that. I applied to one of them and they were like, oh, you'll hear a reply whether you're rejected or not. And I never heard anything. So I was like, okay.
Huh.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
But we went to a multi-streaming one that sort of talked about how multi-streaming can be used to grow, right? By advertising your Twitch, or just growing a separate platform altogether. Things like YouTube, TikTok, Kick, things like that, where you don't have to have anything special. And that's what a lot of the messages that week was you don't really have to have this $5,000 computer and set up and have everything dialed and have the greatest internet and have all this different equipment, this Elgato and things like that, and capture cards and a 2 computer setup. You don't need to have all that. You can literally start with a cell phone now. And
Yeah.
and that's something that a lot of people, I don't think, realize, is that what I can do with my cell phone in terms of streaming in general, or video creating, or pretty much anything creatively, like uh um social media wise, because this is a social media platform.
Right.
I can do all of that with my cell phone.
Yeah, like
And I
having a
have.
computer helps, but you can't, like, everything is accessible through your phone.
Having a computer is great for if you're playing video games.
Right.
If you're playing games and streaming games that are PC based games, having a decent computer, even then, doesn't have to be super expensive,
No.
but having a decent computer is needed for playing games and streaming games. Although I got started with a cheap $800 desktop that I built just to play some flight sims and other games. I bought that thing for cheap.
Yeah.
Or built it for cheap, and I literally started streaming. I got an Elgato capture card for like $60.
Yeah.
And I started streaming from my laptop way back then.
I'll one up you. I started streaming with a $200 laptop that my parents bought me to go to college. Like, that was my I started streaming on the Xbox. That's how I first started my channel, was on the Xbox. And then I was like, okay, I kind of want to play some Pokemon emulators. So I streamed very quietly in the bedroom of my parents' house, because I didn't want them to know I was streaming, because God forbid. I streamed with my laptop. I was sitting, reclining on my bed, and my Snowball Yeti microphone was perched precariously with my hand in the little tripod thing to reach the WASD keys. Like, it was the most janky setup that you could have ever have put together. Like, if I sneezed, that setup would have been on the ground.
Right. Yeah.
And then I moved on to a $700 computer like years later. So you can
your
do
audio
a lot.
setup was better. Your audio setup was better than mine. I had when I really first streamed.
You had my old Yeti.
I had no.
Before that?
Before that, like when I was in high school, I did like a stream or two with a headset microphone that was literally, you remember the old microphones that weren't USB?
Yeah.
They were the audio
plug
and the audio out plugs, the two of them.
Yep.
The green and then the pink. I'm pretty sure I streamed with that.
I was streaming with one of those when I met you. Like, you were one of the people that helped me set up my audio.
No, so yours actually had a USB adapter, and it was a single plug.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mine was even older than that.
You were playing with a rock band one when I met you.
Yeah. When you met me and got me back into streaming, I had an old PlayStation 2 USB rock band microphone.
Yep.
And it janky. Runs amazingly for what it is.
Honestly, very, very impressed by the rock band quality.
I could probably pull that microphone out and get decently similar audio.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. You were pretty quiet on that thing. Like, the audio was there, but it wasn't crisp, and it wasn't like. Don't go back. Just don't go back. It was good for the time. You have greatly improved your audio, sir. Anyway, so the whole beginning portion of our day was learning how accessible Twitch was, and that, I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, nowadays it's a hell of a lot more accessible than it was when I first started. They were talking about the new app stuff, how you were going to be able to go live from your phone. I think that was being added at that time, if I'm not mistaken. Like IRL streaming tools for your phone.
So no, they were talking about swiping through on your phone, like swiping through streams was going to change. Live streaming from your phone for Twitch has been our thing for a while. I think they were just upgrading it and updating it.
Maybe that's what I was understanding, because I thought at first it was new, but it might be new features. No. Okay.
Yeah, I think they had a redesign of the layout and stuff.
Oh, they definitely did. I saw that happen not long after we got back from TwitchCon. Yep. You got to try out a simulator while we were there on day one. You got to try out a racing sim.
Was that day one?
That was day one.
Near the end of day one, I believe.
Right in the middle of it, honestly.
Later in the day.
Like right in the middle.
Yeah, So I've done racing sims. I've done driving sims for a while.
He's a sims guy.
I really am. I like flight sims, racing sims, farming sims.
If you can drive a vehicle, the game's for him.
Yeah. So I've done racing sims. I've done racing sims quite a bit. We went to TwitchCon and they had a Streamlabs set up, and Streamlabs is now owned by Logitech. Yep. So Logitech, with their booth with Streamlabs and all that, decided, hey, let's bring out two of our newest like racing wheel sim setups, which if you're not in like any sort of sim racing, Logitech is one top manufacturer for hardware for like racing sim, flight sim, and all when it comes to consumer grade stuff. Okay, we're not talking next level professional almost level stuff. We're talking consumer grade. So you get a full package with all that. Logitech, and then Thrustmaster is the other one, which some people might have heard about. But they bring their newest stuff and set up two racing sims on, I think it was a Assetto Corsa. I don't remember exactly what it was. But I'm watching these people, drive the sim, and it looks like they're trying, like they're getting sweaty trying to get the best time in this thing. And I get in. I set the best lap time, I think, for the whole weekend on one of them.
Yeah. Honestly, yes. I think we went back on Sunday and it was there.
I think every time we walked past the next 2 days on that one sim that I ran, my lap time was the best lap time.
I have it in one of these videos, but I can't click it to look at it because it will start playing sound on the recording. But yes, one of the sims, you sat down, you set the track record, and I think every time we walk by, I do believe it was still there.
And the funniest part about that is, they were trying to limit it with people in a line. They were trying to limit it to like 2 laps each. Okay. Since I didn't have a line behind me, they said, keep going.
Yeah, so the guy was like edging him on, like telling him to keep going.
What, like 5, maybe 6 laps in or
you
something like that?
You were in the sim for 15 minutes.
5 laps. That's about right. It was like a 2.5 minute lap time or something like that. So
15
probably
minutes
about
of watching
5
left.
No, it wasn't even left. It was left and right. 15 minutes, probably about 5 laps. So I did a little bit more than anyone else. And I'm pretty sure lap 3 or 4 was my best lap time. And yeah, I set it for the whole weekend. And every time I walk past, I'm like, there's no way I am the the best driver to have driven that this weekend. There's no way. There's got to be somebody better than me that's going to come along.
They must
and
have gone on
smash
the other
that
sim.
record. No, I had the best one on both.
I didn't look that closely.
Like neither one of them were lower than mine. Mine was the lowest.
But yeah, so you got to test a pretty decent driving rig for consumers.
It really was an upgraded version of what I have, like the newer version. Yeah. Mine's a few years old now. And the guy's trying to tell me about it. I'm like, yeah, I have a G920, which is what I have. A few years older. He's like, oh, so then you'll really like this. And it's like the higher end of their new stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was great. It was really responsive and feedback was absolutely amazing compared to mine. But yeah, I mean,
I did not try it.
Best lap time.
I probably go beat your lap.
I surprised. I was surprised that no one else beat me, but
I would have beaten you if I tried, but whatever. I would not have. For the record, I would not have. I don't do racing sims. I tried to do them a long time ago, and it was boring. But yeah, so after those 15 long minutes, I'm glad you had fun. After those 15 minutes, we did walk around the convention a little bit more. I got blessed by the grass lord.
Oh my God, you got knighted by Grass Lord.
Yeah, so they had this character because the whole big meme for this year, as a lot of people probably know, is go out and touch grass, like telling sweaty gamers to go touch grass and whatnot. So they had this guy on some sort of tall stilts or whatever. He was standing probably about 8-9 feet tall. Would you say? Maybe a little taller, maybe 10. He 9. Was dressed 9. He was dressed 9. In this silky purple robe, carrying a giant silver fake sword, like stone sword. And his entire face, hair, and beard that went down to like a foot above the ground was this grass looking like material. And he had some sort of the knights of like old knights that cover their eyes, the slits and everything like that on those old helmets. He had that across his eyes. So
do you remember where that came from?
Not a clue.
Where Grass Lord came from?
Not a clue.
So they were saying in the opening ceremony, they said, the year prior, they were walking a little patch, like a foot by a foot, little fake grass patch around, telling people and letting people touch grass. Go touch grass. I
remember that, yeah.
They were walking around and letting people pet this little 1 foot by 1 foot square of grass or something like that. And they said it evolved into a walking, talking, sentient grass lord.
Yeah, it evolved.
They watered it a bit too much, and it kept growing.
But so I got knighted by the Grass Lord, and I got a little Twitch badge thing that says TwitchCon, and it has the Grass Lord and a little sticker and everything like that. No idea where it is right now because we moved a couple months ago, and I have not unpacked everything. But it's around here somewhere. I absolutely love that, though. I thought it was the funniest thing. I thought it was the absolute funniest thing.
It was funny watching you get knighted.
Yes. Mike was pathetic and didn't get knighted. He didn't get to touch grass that day.
No.
And then I do want to speed up the last day or the first day a little bit because we have 2 more days to get through and we've already been going for 30 minutes. But we can ramble. But we went to a panel afterwards about mental health and streaming. And it just talked about a lot of like really good practices and mindfulness while you're streaming and being a content creator.
Go exercise.
Yeah, like I have a picture here that says self-care practices, physical, mental, socializing, and fun. And I'm like, I don't socialize, but whatever.
But I can sort of work on the others.
Yeah, I can kind of work on the others. But no, like it was really cool because TwitchCon was very like, here's new things about the platform. Here's new things about how to like get better at streaming and how to maybe like improve your streams or do what you want to do and XYZ, but also care for yourself. Don't be one of those sweaty nerds that sits in their mom's basement and just completely ignores all like personal hygiene and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourself, and you'll be a better streamer for doing so.
Yep.
Day two. Day two, I think,
Minecraft.
was my personal favorite day. I loved everything we did at TwitchCon. Don't get me wrong. But day two was my personal favorite for obvious reasons that you know.
Bright and early, getting up.
I didn't love that part.
To go get in line for MCC Minecraft competitive.
Yeah, Minecraft competition. So MCC was a Minecraft competition that Scott Major. He's a major Minecraft YouTuber. He has created this competition that pins, eight teams of 4, so 36,
yeah,
32, 36, something like that.
32.
Pins 32. Thank you. Brain doesn't math. Pins all these bigger name Minecraft YouTubers against each other in games that Minecraft would test, like Minecraft skills. So you have an Elytra course, you have like parkour and just other little things like shooting arrows and such. So Mike and I are both big fans of HermitCraft. We love I'm actually wearing a HermitCraft hoodie right now. So we're both pretty big fans of HermitCraft. Metro Mayhem, yes. And we wanted to go, and I'm fans of other Minecraft YouTubers as well, but we wanted to go and see the HermitCraft crew, as well as a handful of others, compete live at TwitchCon MCC Rivals.
Yep.
So they do a thing at TwitchCon called TwitchCon Rivals at the TwitchCon Rivals Arena, and MCC was their big Saturday event. And oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah. So that year, Twitch Rivals was presented by State Farm. That being said, one of the quote unquote hosts was quite literally Jake from State Farm.
Well, she sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy. So Jake from State Farm, we got in early enough. We got in line early enough. We were like the second or third in line.
Yeah.
We got in and we got front row center seats.
Yes.
Okay. When we got in there was only one other bag, by the way, on that row that was like reserved. We just sat next to it. Okay. That we got front row.
This row was not reserved, by the way. Like only that chair was.
That chair had a like backpack on it, so somebody had claimed the seat beforehand. So we're sitting up front, and they're doing the pre-show, sort of. You know, Jake from State Farm's like on stage, probably 50 feet away from us, just doing the pre-show stuff, this, that, and the other, and so we get they all come out, get set up. Right.
Yep.
And one YouTuber who many of you guys may know, Good Times with Scar.
Mm-hmm.
He typically goes to events with one of his family members.
Typically,
him,
like his dad or brother. We'll go with him. Dad or brother.
In order to assist him because he is in a wheelchair. But just to assist him and help out and support him and all that stuff. So we watched them all come out, and Scar rolls out with his dad next alongside him, and they get him up into his position and all get him settled. And his dad comes over and sits down where the bag was, literally right next to me.
Yep.
So I'm sitting here like, we just got a seat right next to Scar's dad.
I want to correct something real quick. So Scar didn't roll out with his dad. Scar rolled out with Tango and some of the other team members he was with. His dad came back down the aisle and sat down next to us. And we were kind of looking at him and looking at Scar and everything like that. I can't remember if there was an interaction between Scar and him or something, but something clicked to where this was Scar's dad. It wasn't like he walked out next to Scar. It was like we put these puzzle pieces together.
No, so that was for you. For me, I saw them roll up the side before they walked. This was before they walked out. They were sort of they walked up the side front before they really broadcast them walking out on stage.
Oh.
They walked up the side front and he was right there with them, and they were getting sort of their stuff put in their places before they really came out and presented. And I saw his dad right there next to him, making sure he was good. And then came and sat down and waited for the whole show to happen. And that's when they rolled out on the stage into their respective locations.
Yeah.
I saw that and I knew it was Scar's dad. You didn't know, apparently.
I didn't. Well, first off, I was so dead to the world because I was so tired and coffee was not kicking in yet. But I was so focused on watching the show that was happening in front of us with Jake from State Farm and like we had this really great camera guy or director guy who was just like, he was so hype the whole time and he was like dancing around and doing like all these funny like movements and everything like that. I was just loving watching him. He was like so energetic. So he made half the show right there. He was funny. And he was just like a director for the camera angles and stuff like that. But I hadn't watched them walk in from the side because I was so focused on, first off, taking pictures, and also they were playing stuff on the big screen and stuff like that. So I was just watching everything else around us. So you leaned over and tapped me on the shoulder and said, I think we're sitting next to Scar's dad or something like that. And I had seen, I follow Scar on like Instagram and everything like that because, again, HermitCraft fan. So I looked over and I kind of like did a very sneaky, I don't want him to see that I'm like, you know, looking directly at him, although I don't really think he cared. I like leaned forward and looked and I was like, yeah, I do recognize that guy.
Like at that point I knew. I knew, you know, when I had seen him interact with Scar specifically. But I knew that it was Scar's dad. Now MCC goes on and they get to about halfway?
Yeah, it was about the halfway point.
Halfway point, they were taking a break and doing other stuff. Well, they had released or were working on releasing a card game version of MCC.
This was the second edition of it.
Okay, it was the second edition of it. They had new cards and stuff like that. And as a sort of promotionary thing, they had probably 3 or 4 of the creators that were participating. They had bigger versions of their cards that they had signed, and they went around passing them out, you know, giving them out to people in the audience. And, you know, we're sitting right up front. I'm thinking, you know, great, we're right up front. We're probably not going to get anything because most people, when they're passing stuff out, they want to try not to give everything to the front subconsciously, or at least I think that, because, you know, then you're making everyone feel included. Well, not the front people, but, you know, whatever. So I'm thinking we're not going to get anything until Scar comes down the aisle on our left side. Granted, his dad's sitting on the end of our row in the front on that aisle, and I'm sitting literally right next to him. He comes down that aisle and he's passing out cards and giving out cards, and he rolls around his dad and, you know, checks with his dad real quick or whatever.
And says a quick hello.
You know, says hi real quick for a second, and turns and hands me one of the cards directly that is signed by Scar.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of your favorite YouTubers.
Yeah,
This
it's
one
up
is
there.
Impulse.
Yeah.
He's definitely up there. For the cards, this was the one you wanted.
Yes.
Right?
He was, I'm pretty sure he was the only HermitCraft member who had the jumbo card, because it was like, it was a bunch of people I've never heard of, and I've seen their names, but I've never really like heard of them or knew who they were. I just knew them from like seeing them in the space, but I don't know their content. And a lot of people were like freaking out over this one guy who was on the winning team, I guess, but they were like freaking out over this one guy, and I was like, I don't know who any of these people are. And Scar was the only one that I knew, and I was like, oh my god, it's HermitCraft. I'm impressed it's the only HermitCraft, honestly. But you know, he's up there for me. He has really great content, and he's just a HermitCraft guy. So I was like, oh my god, it would be so funny if we like could get a card, but it's probably not going to be one that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it was gonna be like one of like the guy that everyone was like flipping out over, which the girls to my right had like a whole fangirl moment, like that he handed them like the one on the very far end, one of the cards.
Yeah.
And I just heard all the oh my god, like all the freakouts, and I'm like, whoa, this guy has a following.
Right. Yeah, so Scar sort of turns the corner around his dad and all, and you know, exchanges sort of a quick hello with his dad real quick, and I was just right there next to him, right time, right place, and he handed me the card.
Yeah.
Looked me dead in the eyes as he did it, everything.
Yeah. And it was funny because he started to roll away right before, and he kind of did like a double take back to you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I was sort of doing the please, can we have one, please?
Yeah.
Sort of motion. And he handed it to me.
Yeah.
So, and you pretty much completely lost it at that point.
I didn't lose it.
You were really excited.
Yeah, I was excited.
Don't let anything touch this card.
No, it was more of, oh god, we now have to get this card from California to North Carolina, and I don't want to like damage it. I was worried about damaging it because there was, I'm not kidding you, there was zero good ways of transporting this around a convention for the rest of the day, because this is again like 7-8 o'clock in the morning, like stupid early, and the convention ends at like 5, and now we have a card that we can't just like drop off at a hotel that's several blocks away. So
yep. So
it was a really cool moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we watched the rest of MCC, and you can go and watch it if you want, if you haven't seen it yet. We're not going to really talk about the MCC itself.
I will say the only part, and this is slight spoilers, but I will not give away how it ends. It came down to my favorite content creator of all time, Impulse SV, and some guy that I've heard of but don't know very well.
Dressed in an Eggman outfit.
From Sonic, from the Sonic games, dressed as Eggman. And it came down literally to those two sitting in dodgeball, which is like dodgeball, but with bows and arrows. And
it was, what, one shot left each? Who the next person hit was dead?
So you get hit with an arrow, you're out. And it was, it's like a best of 3. So if your team wins twice, you win. And that was like the winning of MCC. And this was final game, final bullets, like death match. Like
the
and
last two.
It came down to Impulse SV and this other guy. And I don't know this other guy's name, otherwise I would say it, but I don't remember who it was. And it was so good. Like, you're gonna have to go watch it for the ending, but it was so good.
Yep. So after this, we go upstairs. I think we had a little bit of time before the HermitCraft sort of meet and greet panel. Not really meet and greet, but the panel for 10 years of HermitCraft was happening. And so we went upstairs, got in line. We actually were not super far back in the line.
No.
Like the line looked longer just because everyone was sitting against the wall and it was pretty much single spaced persons.
And it got a lot longer after us. Like to the point where they had to cut off the line.
Yeah.
They did not give this panel a big enough space. I'm going to say that.
No, they should have put it on the MCC stage.
They would have still needed a bigger room, but yes.
Yes. So we went to that panel and absolutely loved it.
Yes, it was great.
And you had bought day one, you had bought a poster for Impulse to sign if you got the chance.
So,
and as many hermits as possible.
So before TwitchCon, as our previous, what we talked about in our previous podcast was we went to Disney before TwitchCon, which, ouch, my poor feet. My poor feet that whole week was ouch. But on the way back from Anaheim to San Diego, I was on the TwitchCon app looking up because normally they do like the meet and greet signups like the day or two before. They had opened it up like a month prior to TwitchCon, which again, this was my first TwitchCon. I didn't know what they did, and they didn't give any notification that there was signups. So originally, I wanted to get a poster from TwitchCon for 2024 and do a bunch of the meet and greets for the hermits and get like as many hermits as I could to sign this poster, frame it, and hang it in my office. Because I was like, that would be so cool to have a collection of all the hermits and all my other favorite like YouTubers, not just hermits, or not YouTubers, but Minecrafters. I just wanted to get anybody that I knew on this poster. And we missed every single meet and greet. There was like one I could sign up for, and it was going to be in the middle of MCC, and I was not doing that.
And, you know, I heard a lot that they really did the HermitCraft groups wrong with the way they laid out their meet and greets, because they put 4 individual content creators together.
They put Impulse, who is huge in HermitCraft, Tango, who is huge in HermitCraft, Gemini Tay, who is huge in HermitCraft, and Skiz, who is getting huge on HermitCraft, all at one table. For the
one
meet and
table greet. And then on the other one they had Scar, Pearl,
Joel, and
Cub. Yeah, I think they had those 4, literally 2 tables right next to each other, or they had a mixture of those. Literally right next to each other at the exact same time. So if you signed up for one of the meet and greets, you couldn't do the other.
Not effectively.
Right? No, like I'm pretty sure they barred you from doing multiple at one time because they had the lines the certain way.
I will say I heard, so there's a big fan who I follow on X, Twitter, whatever, the bird app. There's a really big HermitCraft fan, and I followed them for a long time just because they post like things that I might miss from their social medias. They kind of like reamp it and just post it out as well. They went to multiple hermits for the meet and greet, and they said the hermits handled the not ideal situation in a very good way. Like if you signed up for multiple and you went up to the table, you got to meet all 4 at that table. They didn't like TwitchCon stopped trying to bar it off. If you were going up to that table, you could meet the group. It wasn't one-on-one like what you probably could have had.
Right. So it wasn't one-on-one. And I'm pretty sure other than like the time, because they ran way over time.
Yes. They're HermitCraft. And TwitchCon did not anticipate how big HermitCraft is. A lot of cons underestimate HermitCraft.
So I'm pretty sure they sort of worked it out that at that moment where a group of people comes up to each table, meets the 4 in that table, and then they could switch real quick and then go. Yeah. I'm pretty sure because it was so many people. Yeah. And everyone wants to meet everyone, right?
Right.
So it was one big cluster when it happened, but they handled it extremely well for the Hermits. The Hermits did.
To be
Twitch,
fair,
not so great.
To be fair, the year prior, the Hermits asked for meet and greet spots, and Twitch was like, no, it's
You're not
fine.
big enough.
So the Hermits put together, like the Hermits have always gone above and beyond to make sure that they interact with their communities. So like in 23, they put together their own meet and greets, and TwitchCon saw this and was like, yeah, you need spots, but I still don't think they anticipated how big the Twitch community is with HermitCraft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like they had, and Scar didn't go to 23. I don't think. I think that was the year he had health problems and couldn't go. So like Scar is one of the biggest hermits in the TwitchCon
Twitch,
area. Yeah. Sure. So the fact that he wasn't in 23 and he came to 24, and like just the fact that he was there, Twitch should have like reserved an entire room for each hermit, like end sentence, right. Honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So you got the poster for them to sign.
Yes.
When we couldn't get into a meet and greet session, we went specifically to the HermitCraft panel.
Yeah.
And we sat through that. We sang all the songs as they were playing the HermitCraft songs and stuff, you know, the different like bop. I don't think watching Skiz's face when he realized that everybody in that room knew bop so well.
Yeah.
Was just like, holy crap. You know, you could see on his face, it was just like, wow. All these people know a random song that I came up with Impulse. And it was just like, they know every single word and all that. You could see that on his face of just like shock almost.
I think one of my favorite parts about that panel was just simply getting to watch Skiz's reaction to everything, because you could see him analyzing every moment of that panel. Like,
yeah,
he's never been a part of this. This was his first year at TwitchCon as part of HermitCraft and actually being able to do the HermitCraft things. So
yep.
I think like the entire panel, I was watching all the hermits, but the entire panel, I kept watching Skiz's reaction, because he is such an analyzer and such like, he loves to watch people. He said that multiple times on the podcast that he runs. And it was really interesting watching him watch us react to them. Like, it was just really interesting to watch that kind of reactions.
Yeah. So we sat through all of that, and they talked a lot about all their stuff, and afterwards, everyone rushes the stage, right?
Oh yeah.
Everyone rushes the stage, wanting autographs, wanting to talk to the hermits, this, that, and the other. And we go up with the poster, trying to see if we could get anything, you know, anything at all, or anybody to be able to sign the poster.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're sort of sitting there waiting behind like one or two other people, Twitch, sort of the organizers were trying to usher everyone out for the next panel. I understand they're on a tight time schedule.
Oh yeah.
And they're telling them, hey, you know, you can't be doing this right here. You guys got to leave. We got to set up for the next panel, this, that, and the other. And right before you get your poster signed, Impulse is like, sorry, you know, we can't. They're telling us we have to leave, this, that, and the other. And
yeah.
And he, you know, you came up right at that point, and he was like, they're telling us you can't. And I'm pretty sure he saw you and was like, I'll sign one more, and bent down and signed your poster for you.
Yeah. So he kind of like, he was looking around generally and was like seeing that he was getting ushered out. He wasn't even the one saying we can't do anymore. It was the lady that was like ushering everybody out. But I kind of walked directly up to Impulse at the stage because I was like, I want to get him at least to sign because, again, favorite content creator. And he looked at me, he bent down, he was pulling like a Sharpie out of his pocket, and he kind of did like the little hush symbol where he put his finger up to his mouth and he's like, don't tell anyone. And he quickly signed my poster, and he was like, okay, thanks. You know, like we kind of had a little interaction, and he left. It was just a really nice moment. It was a really, really nice moment.
Sadly, we didn't wait around long enough.
We didn't go out the right way.
No, I looked around that side. There was nobody.
Oh, okay.
They were on both sides. So they came out the side door into the hallway at the top of the escalators, and then they eventually moved to the front doors. Okay. I think Twitch eventually just moved them so they weren't choking up the hallway or anything.
That's fair. They did like a second meet and greet with everybody.
Yeah,
and we didn't know about it.
We didn't wait around long enough to see him come out and know about it. So sadly, we missed that. But yeah, that's the only part I regret about that weekend. Really. Well,
the thing is, and one thing that I was like kind of not upset about, but I was just like, dang it, is that I want to say, I can't remember who it was. It might have been like Tango and Impulse or something like that. 2 hermits that were part of it that I saw tweeted out that they were doing it. And I had notifications turned off, and I still do, for most hermits on the Bird app. And for whatever reason, I didn't get either of those notifications.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I got him later that night. Like when we were in the hotel, I saw the posts and I was like, dang it, they tweeted out about it.
Yeah.
And then the other person that I follow that I was telling you about earlier, they, whatever, they also tweeted out about it. And I was like, dang it. So.
Right. Yeah. We just missed it. And, we sort of hung around for a second too.
We did.
And I really, really wish we hung around just a few minutes longer.
And I don't know if you remember, but we were going to circle back through there and we went the other way.
I'm pretty sure we circled back through there after the fact.
No, we went into another area. I think we went to the bathroom or something like that. And we were going to circle back around that way to go back down. And we took the longer way to go to the artist galley.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, well, they're hopefully going to keep going to TwitchCons, and I'm hoping next year.
Hopefully we go to more TwitchCons.
I'm hoping next year we get to go to TwitchCon again. Hopefully we can afford to go and actually spend the 3 days again, and I'm going to be better about getting us meet and greets.
Yeah. Right.
So, I'll just have to get another poster. It's fine.
Yeah.
Day 3 was a little bit more relaxed.
Day 3 was relaxed. It was wrapping stuff up. We were
panels.
tired.
Yes. I think we went to as many panels. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we went in after the doors opened. That's when we walked over.
We did.
And there wasn't too many people. It wasn't too busy. There were still a few things. We walked around. We went to a few panels, and we walked
went to
the
separate
Artist
panels.
Alley. Yeah, we did go through to a few separate panels. We walked the Artist Alley. We walked the expo a few more times. And we were tired. It was more technical stuff or technical panels than
you went to more technical panels. Yeah.
You went to some about networking and sponsorships and things like that. So
that's true. I did. Yeah, it was more like business side of Twitch and how to set up your Twitch a little bit more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So while you went to the technology software versions of panels, I went to here's how you network and make media kits and get sponsorships, and here's some inspirational BS and stuff like that. And it was really inspirational.
I think I joined you on the after the first one, because the first one was, it was great, but it was way too technical for me. So
Well, it was pirate software. What do you expect?
I went to that one, and that one was okay. But after that, I was just like, okay, I would be interested in like media kits and things like that real quick.
Yeah, you kind of joined me halfway through.
And then, I mean, that was pretty much the third day. It was very slow. We were tired, wore out.
Yeah.
Just taking it, in stride and just, relaxing, really.
It was a lot of exploring the little things. During the entirety of TwitchCon, they also had a game on the TwitchCon app where you walk around and you get points for doing certain things, like get 100 points for this, 300 points for that. Like I got like 300 points for touching grass or getting blessed by the grass lord or whatever.
You got knighted. You got like 500 points or 1,000 points. You got something stupid.
Yeah, I got a good amount of points. Anyway, so you went around, you took pictures, you scanned QR codes and stuff like that to gain these points. And if you got enough, which both of us did, you could go to the window. I don't even remember, like, it wasn't customer service.
There's a window. There's like a customer service window or first aid window or something. And
you could get swag.
What did we get there? We got the keychain.
We got a keychain.
We got a black Twitch keychain lanyard thing, like a really small one. Okay.
We got these Twitch affiliate sunglasses.
That was our affiliate gift that we hadn't picked up until then because we didn't know about it.
We got it all.
That was a separate affiliate gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was all we got. Was the keychain was for the game, and then the affiliate glasses were for being affiliates.
We got something else. I think we got something else for the game. It was like a very tiny like prize pack of getting the points. Like very worth it because they were cute little items, but they were, it was fun. The whole thing was fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But 100% want to go back.
Yes.
TwitchCon,
I was saying at the beginning, TwitchCon it's not only about coming and having fun and getting to be sold to by a bunch of different vendors that are invested in like content creation or computers or games and stuff like that.
Right.
It's about bringing communities together.
Yeah.
And not even bringing, individual communities together, but bringing them all together as a group of communities in this space that is Twitch. And then also being able to, it's not just geared towards streamers or viewers or partners or, whatever. It's geared towards everybody. Anyone can come. Anyone can check out what Twitch has to offer. Can meet up with your favorite streamers, with your viewers, your mods, your community. And then on the other side of that, you can also come in as a streamer, no matter how big, no matter how small, and you can learn stuff. You can learn, hey, maybe I haven't tried multi-streaming, but this panel talks about multi-streaming and I'm interested. And then you go and they're like, be creative with it. You don't have to multi-stream through OBS or Streamlabs or something like that. You can multi-stream by literally, one of the guys on that panel was like, I literally had a TikTok stream facing himself, like leaned up against his monitor on the side. And he would look over every now and then and be like, hey, come check me out on Twitch. And that's how he started multi-streaming, was like, he didn't even have the game itself necessarily, unless he maybe set his phone up to show the game, on the monitor.
And I've seen a
very
lot of people
rudimentary
do that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see
And
a
it's
lot
a
of people
great
have
way
a
to get
side profile with
started.
their like Twitch name on a piece of paper.
Yeah, it's a great way to get started and advertise that, hey, come join us. You know, you can, with the one with a piece of paper, you can hear in the background the sort of fun that someone's having with their community on Twitch and be like, hey, maybe I want to go join that. Or, you know, things like how to start sponsorships and how
Yeah.
to advertise yourself, you know, business oriented, the business side of Twitch specifically, what you need to do in terms of like media kits and what are media kits and what does it look like? What do you have when you're trying to sell yourself or your brand to a big company like Pepsi or Coke or Taco Bell or Dorito, you know, all these different brands that would come in and sponsor. How do you do that? You know, what's
Yeah.
the first step into doing that? What's more advanced steps for those who maybe have had one or two like actual sponsorship deals go through and need to take the next step into a big deal, right? It's got stuff for everyone, no matter whether you're streaming or you're just coming to hang out with friends and enjoy a convention and watch MCC, right?
Right.
Or if you're coming to actually present ideas, you know, if you're a partner and you go to present these ideas of, hey, you know, this is how I do this. This is how I have made media kits and stuff work for me for sponsorships, or this is how I've integrated this extension or this thing in my stream and made it more lively. This is how I've done this in the past and it's helped my stream or you know, done this for me in some way, shape, or form. And offering advice and information to those who are, you know, newer to the streaming overall and might need some guidance, you know?
Yeah, and
So it's
like
got a lot for everybody.
it does. And like one thing we didn't even talk about, I think it was like day 1 or 2. We were walking around the first floor where they had all the demonstrations and just random things, and you had run off to the bathroom somewhere. I was walking down an
Probably.
aisle, yeah, definitely. I was walking down the aisles of like it was nonprofits that people have commonly teamed up with to raise money for. And one of the ones was for the Humane Society. And I walked up just to talk to the booth because I had done several streams for, you know, for charity for them, for raising money and all. And no sooner had I walked up to the booth and started talking to the girl, did she look down at like your badge had your name, like your username on it. And she recognized my username and said I was one of the people that she worked directly with during one of my charity streams. And
Yeah.
like she reckoned I'm not a big content creator. Like I raised
But
maybe $250 for them, which is a good amount, don't get me wrong, but it was one of those moments where like she recognized me, she knew who I was, she thanked me for like doing the several streams I did with them, gave me a t-shirt. Like there was a bunch
yeah,
of people
like
there that were just not even advertising, but they were like, come stream with us to raise money for these causes. And it was just kind of a cool moment to be recognized by one of those people that I like, the organization that I cared for to raise money for.
especially, is it the ASPCA? No, that's ASPCA. Is it like a nationwide humane society
Yeah.
specifically?
Well,
It's not
they
even like a
do.
smaller location.
No, it was like the entirety of the Humane Society. So,
Right.
and like the
So to have
same.
someone
Go ahead.
recognize you based off of your username
Right.
from a stream you had done how many years ago?
At that point, it was 2-ish years ago. The big one was 2 years ago, but I had done several smaller ones since.
Right. So 2 years prior to that was the big one. And, you know, a couple after that, she probably worked with you on the big one, honestly.
Honestly, yes.
And
And it wasn't
remembered
even
you
that big,
from,
honestly.
remembered your you know, username from 2 years prior and
Yeah.
knew almost exactly who you were at that point.
Yeah, like she was able to recall the
just
game that I was playing. Like she told me that she enjoyed the Minecraft stream, and I was like, "Why the hell do you remember this?
how do you know this? Like,
Like,
who are you?
yeah, like do you just have a database in your brain? Like, what is happening?"
Yeah,
Because
but
again, I was not set up at all to be recognized by anybody, let alone like a company that I again support and care about. So
yeah, and
it was just
it
a really
really
cool
goes to
moment.
show. It really goes to show sort of how small the community is, while also being absolutely massive at the same
Yes.
time, and how much especially charity, um, a charity beneficiary for streaming, how much they actually invest into their streamers and all.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the impact that you had to have made yourself for someone to recognize your username from a stream that they worked on and worked with you on, maybe not extremely directly with you, like emailing you specifically, but monitoring it, making sure it's going
Right.
well, this, that, and the other. For you to have made that much of an impact with them, that they recognize your name specifically 2 years later, down to the game you were playing,
Right.
like, it just goes to show how amazing TwitchCon can be if it's done right, for sure.
Yeah. And
And how impactful Twitch is as a whole.
like I'm sad we can't go this year for their 10-year anniversary. I hope we can make it to the 15 or maybe even the 20. But I want to go back. Like as soon as I don't even think we were done with the one that we were at, like Saturday evening. I think I was telling you I want to continue going to these things because it was I don't know how to network, and I was networking a little bit. Like I didn't make great connections or anything like that, but I was talking to people who I had networked with previously, like the Humane Society, and like the Da Vinci Resolve was another one we walked up to, and they were telling us about and thanking us for using their editing software and all this stuff and giving us swag.
Like, wait, you guys actually use Da Vinci Resolve?
We don't have to pitch this to you.
Oh, here, what size t-shirts you guys wear? We'll give you free t-shirts.
And they were nice shirts. They are nice shirts. Like they're not cheap.
Come play with our specific keyboards and all to see how much different it can be with the right equipment too.
Yeah, and they were giving like the entire experience of TwitchCon, even for two decently smaller streamers, like the whole interaction, it made us feel very appreciated on the platform or with the platform. Like and this has failed, by the way. It's not going to happen before the TwitchCon that is happening this year, even if we were going. I dedicated like this entire year to becoming a partner on Twitch because that is my next big step. I want to go from affiliate to partnership. So I was like, 2025 is going to be the year of partnership. Not happening, by the way. Maybe again. I don't know.
A lot has happened.
Yes. But that's always my excuse, and it needs to stop being my excuse. I digress. But before 2026's TwitchCon, probably the American one, not the European one, because the European one is like in June. But before,
let's go to Europe.
Again. Before America again, and then we'll have another travel podcast. Anyway, before 2026 American TwitchCon, I want to do a big push again towards partnership, and I want to get there because I feel like this is a great platform, and yes, they've had their ups and downs. Every single company will, but this platform cares about its creators, and it's obvious that it does. If by nothing else than the convention that they host, because TwitchCon's not the people who run it; it's the people who are on it, and those people care.
Yeah. Yes.
Twitch is working on making its platform better, and it is going to fail, and it is going to succeed, and it's going to put out meh products, and it's going to put out great products. And until it gets completely perfect, which it never will because it's always going to be growing, they're going to keep trying. And it's obvious that they have so many more ideas that they want to put out there because they talked about all the ideas that they have, and they sound great, and they sound like they want to make it easier for every type of streamer, from gaming to music to IRL to everything.
Yes.
So I want to keep going to TwitchCons. If for nothing else than the experience that we had last year with meeting people and meeting content creators that we idolize and look up to, and watching panels of all these people who are just hilarious, by the way, because they're all content personalities. They're not just like speaker personalities, they're content personalities. So all their panels were hilarious and entertaining to watch and listen to, even when they were talking about boring subjects like monetization and like self-care.
Right.
Like things that are typically a boring subject and more businessy. They made it entertaining. And
right.
I want to keep going back to surround ourselves with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go with an empty suitcase just to get stuff from the artist gallery because, dear God, that stuff was beautiful. Like, oh my gosh. But that's every convention you can ever go to. All the artist galleries are just top notch. Love their stuff. Can't get it anywhere else. Beautiful stuff. But yes, I overall, out of 10, what did you think about 2024 TwitchCon America?
Out of 10?
Yeah. Put it out of 10.
At least an 8.
At least an 8.
I don't know how previous ones have been.
I'm talking about your experience at TwitchCon.
My experience, 8 or 9.
Okay.
I mean, I had seen that they sort of, they didn't plan appropriately, just like they haven't before, for like the HermitCraft stuff and all.
Yeah.
But I mean, my personal experience, probably an 8 or 9 or something like that along those lines.
I'm going to give it an 8.5. I have my small complaints of like not getting notifications that signups for meet and greets were available. Spacing was a real issue. And I don't think it was their fault that spacing was an issue. I think they just didn't know what kind of space to expect for certain things. Or maybe the hermits checked in too late, and when they went to go sign up for certain spaces, they were taken by other things. I don't know. I will say I like that most of their panels were accessible through the Twitch, like through the Twitch streaming process. So like if you weren't at TwitchCon, you could watch it from home, a majority of them. Right. Like I plan on doing that this year. Sadly watching through the screen. It's rain coming down from the window. Anyway, but no, like I have my complaints, but they are all either user error or just little tiny things that could have been done better that just, didn't happen that way. And hopefully with them being in a permanent space for 5 years, it will make those little things kind of flesh out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. But TwitchCon overall, 100% would recommend going to, even if you're not a streamer. If you just enjoy the platform, definitely go. They're making tickets easier to get each year as well. You can support your favorite creators by basically buying their tickets for them. Like they have a lot of really cool ideas to make everything more accessible, and I love that they're doing it. And I look forward to when we can go and then come back and immediately make a fresh podcast over what happened, because this is also recalling from over a year, like almost exactly a month off. So 11 months ago, almost a year ago. So.
Yep.
And I'm staring at this pasta that I took a picture of from Cheesecake Factory that we had for lunch one day, and it's making me hungry. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Any last words to say before we sign off here?
Not that I know of.
Okay, well, it was a fun one. I enjoyed talking about subjects like this. The travel podcasts, as well as this one, have been amazing to go back and just talk about. We will need to make more travel-based podcasts because I know we have more stories. Yep. And like I said, I look forward to doing more podcasts in the future about our experiences at conventions and other events that we go to. Because I know we're going to go to a lot.
Right.
But I think that's going to be it. Thank you guys for hanging out with us and listening. And we will see you next week when we talk about God only knows what. Because we don't have a subject this time. This is going to be the first week in like 3 weeks where we don't have a subject lined up.
Yep.
Well, bye.
Bye.